Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. I want to talk about something. I actually just put a post on my Facebook wall, and it went off the hook because people can really resonate with it was a Sean Whalen quote. So it says, if they gossip about you to others, if they gossip about others to you, they gossip about you to others. How many times do we have people in our life that we allow in our life that will literally talk shit about every other person that we know? And we sit there and we listen. Hopefully, y'all don't chime in, okay? Because I got rid of all of these motherfuckers. I got rid of the people. Look, if somebody calls me up and says, man, such and such did this or so-and-so did that, I'll just cut them off and be like, hey, man, I need to get going. And then I won't take their phone call or I won't talk to them ever again. Like, I don't participate in talking shit about other people. It's fucking pointless. It's loser shit. It's you going to it's you allowing other people to drag you down to a level that is beneath you. Especially if you're listening to this podcast, man. If you're listening to this podcast and you've listened all of the episodes up until now, look, y'all should know better than that. Don't involve yourself in that. Let me tell you where it changed for me. I read a quote, and it said, there's three types of people, right? There's three types of people. You got people who will talk about other people, and that's a mediocre person. Mediocre, below average. And then you got people that'll talk about events and things, right? So that's how they relate to other people. They'll talk about events and things. And you know what? That's it. Look, it's okay to be average sometimes. Just never sink down to being mediocre. Because, of course, I talk about things with other people. I talk about events. But my friends, people that are above average, that are geniuses, that are motherfucking marketing savages, talk about ideas, okay? We talk about and we think about ideas. That's the three type of people. That's the three type of conversations, if you're tempted or you're still at a level right now where you fall into that, man, you got to stop. And if there's people around you that thrive off of that, including your significant others. If there's people around you that thrive off of that, talking about other people, they spend the majority of their time just talking about other people, you've got to stop it. You've got to put a stop to it. You got to become dedicated to removing that horrible fucking habit, the habit of gossip, out of your life. If you step back, you can actually feel the negative energy pouring over you while you're involved in any such conversation. Anytime that I've been in a conversation where somebody was talking shit about somebody or I was talking shit about somebody, immediately knew inside of my heart, inside of my gut, inside of my mind, inside of my soul, I immediately knew that it was wrong. I immediately knew that I shouldn't be partaking in this type of shit. whether I was a listener or whether I was somebody who was actively participating in that shit. So what I've done, I've cut everybody out of my life that fucking does that shit. Everybody look, if they can't come around, if they don't get the hint, when I tell them, look, I'm not into that, man. Look, I'm not going to sit here and talk about somebody else behind their back. If they can't come around and they can't accept that as a new reality, then I cut them out. I cut them out, man. That shit's like poison to the world. It's like poison to the world. In fact, there's a book called the Four Agreements, and he talks about when he actually considers that in the book. He calls that black magic. He goes into some pretty fucking. Any of you guys who listen to the Four Agreements, he goes into some pretty deep detail about why it is like literally talking about other people in a negative way behind their back is equivalent to a virus, equivalent to you being a fucking parasite in this world. And I believe it. I step away from that shit. You got to take the higher ground. Always take the higher ground. You get involved with somebody inside of a conversation, they start saying such and such did this or that. You elevate above that shit. You take the higher ground. You move on. You walk away. You get the fuck away from that situation. You heard it from me. You heard it now. You know it's true, and you're fucking better than that. Period. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to come to you and drop a quick message. I know somebody needed to hear that. Somebody's living with that in their life. I've lived with it in my life. Back when I used to drink, it was much more. It was definitely a bigger part of my life. That shit takes over your emotions, and you begin to lose intellect. It's been years since I've going on about 2 years since I've stopped drinking. Many of you guys have probably listened to my other podcast. Maybe you haven't. Maybe I'll come here and tell a story for sometime. I probably definitely need to, because it is definitely a deep and intense story why I stopped drinking. So anyhow, y'all, I appreciate you for coming along on this podcast. And usual, I'll see you on the next one.